Hello everyone, and thank you very much for tuning in. Today I wanted to focus on just a kind of introduction to the moment when we are going to have the call for proposals for postdoctoral fellowships finally open. It is supposed to be in the middle of April. I have heard rumors that the call will probably be a bit delayed. I'm laughing because in my previous recording I, instead of rumors, said the word humors. I heard humors. Well, okay, I heard rumors that the call will be a little bit delayed, but anyway, we can still prepare a lot of things before the call is open. But before I will focus on the call question, what can I do before the call is open, I just wanted to thank to all of you who got in touch, who asked me something, because it helps me, it provides me with valuable input when I think about what I could cover in these videos. There is so much I could do, but sometimes, because this is a voluntary activity and I do it just because I want to help people, but if I don't get any feedback, it's always a question, is there someone there to whom I could help? So any question from your side is wonderful. Also the fact that you subscribe, because when I see people keep on subscribing, I just feel, well, this is needed. Someone needs this help. So again, for me, it's kind of like inner motivation to go further. So my big thank you to all of you who somehow show that there are people at the other side of the channel and that you consider this work to be of value to you. So thanks to all people who wrote a message via LinkedIn or even in comments to my videos. It's amazing. Thank you very much. Plus, I personally wanted to thank Jay. He was one of the people who asked me for specific videos a year ago when there was deadline of Postdoctoral Fellowship Call 2023. And he was so kind that he wrote me that his project was financed and that he thought that I helped a tiny bit to his success as well. So that was wonderful news, particularly because it came at a very, very hard moment in my life. And you just never know, when you thank to someone, you might lighten up his day. So I want to thank to all of you who just saw it as a valuable investment to subscribe, because just by this one small act of clicking on subscription, you just tell me that it makes sense for someone. And the point why I need this motivation is simple. This is just one of my many activities I do. Apart from that, my huge passion and other part of my career is design. So normally in this area where I'm recording at the moment, I just draw and design my fabrics. Recently I'm busy with my new collection of fabrics inspired by old prints and English gardens. So apart from these few things, I'll received my new fabrics, so I'm going to share them with you, and they turned always into these lovely things. So that's again something that takes my time as well, and it's difficult to decide whether I'm going to design my cushions or record these videos. For this reason, it is so important for me to know that you are there and that it makes sense, because otherwise I will be drawing. But anyway, so the question for today is, what can I do before the call is open? I'm now talking about postdoctoral fellowships. The first thing, the calls will be always about the same. So the structure of the template doesn't change that much from call to call. So you can already start to work on your project proposal right now, even when there is no call for proposals open. I believe many of you know it, but there might be people who think, okay, the last 2 weeks before the deadline is enough. I tell you honestly, it's not enough unless you know your host institution really well and you have been collaborating with them before. That's very important. And now I have just noticed that I didn't shut my window. So I'm now going to pause the video, close the window so that there is not the noise, and I will return back. So the window is closed now and it is going to be a little bit more quiet. I apologize for the first part of the video where you probably hear a lot of cars going around our house. So back to the question, what can I do? There are three things you can focus at before you start to write. Number one, of course, is your research topic and your research question. You can already, or you should already, have quite clear idea about what you want to do, what you want to achieve, because 2 years is very short period. You can't invent that much in 2 years. So you should be really focused on what you can do in, let's say, 1.5 years, because then you also need to make your results in some way public. And you know that it takes time to be published in any kind of magazine. So there is a lot of timing that you need to consider in designing your research work. So that's the first thing. And that's something I can't help you with, because that's specific to your situation. The second thing I won't be able to help you with is understanding the environment of your host institution. This is something you have to do again yourself. You will need a lot of specific ingredients from the environment of your host institution in order to be able to write a credible project. Because what makes the project proposals credible? Well, it's amount of specific information that enable reader, reviewer, to imagine the environment you are stepping in, the kind of connections that will be, or fitting that will be between you and your host institution. And this fitting has to be mutual. It can't be just you getting things from the whole, or knowledge from the host institution. It has to be also a lot about you providing with something back. And again, unless you know the environment of the host institution, you can't understand exactly what is your value within the system you are going to enter. So now I get to the third part of the ingredients you can work on before you even start to write your project proposal, and that's actually you. Understanding who you are, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and where do you see your opportunities for your future career. So you need to focus on designing your future career. The question is, frequently have you done that before? Do you have any specific tools and a specific knowledge, or have you ever tried to design your future career? I believe intuitively all of us do that. But now we get to the situation that we need to express it. We need to write it on a paper, put it in writing. So that's the moment when you probably would appreciate some kind of help. And this is something I wanted to focus at this early stage, just to provide you with specific knowledge to understand better the environment of career planning and how you can think about your future development as a researcher. Because we need to be realistic. In research, there is not enough space for everyone to get employed in research. Many researchers are going to leave research environment after they finish their training. And the point is that we need to equip ourselves with such skills and knowledge that it would be useful in also other sectors than just research. And that's one of the purpose of postdoctoral fellowships. They try to help us to gain these skills and knowledge in order to be flexible on the labor market. And when you are in your early 30s or even late 20s, which you might be as postdocs, there's a lot of working years ahead of you, and you have to prepare for lots of uncertainties. So the more flexible you learn to be already at the beginning of your career, the better networks you build, well, the better your future career is going to be. And your skills, your knowledge, and your networks will be, I guess, the most valuable things that you will gain throughout your careers, because the network of your peers and colleagues and institutions you will collaborate with is going to be a valuable asset for any kind of project in the future. So that's a kind of summary for today. What you should focus on now is understanding your host institution. If you don't have any, you need to find one. And the second thing is crucial, of course, because everything is going to be around your research idea. So define really well your research question. Define really well your implementation strategy, your methodology. Just be realistic about what you can publish, what you can do within 2 years time span. Of course, you can include also the 1 year before you apply for funding if you already kind of work on pilot research related to your main research question that you want to focus on during your postdoctoral fellowship. But still, these two things you can do without a call. And the third thing is, well, try to design your future career. What would you like to be in 10 years? Where you see yourself? Do you want to be a teaching researcher? Do you want to be a researcher who is going to start a startup or spin-off? Do you understand even these terms? If not, again, there is something you can already include in design of your postdoctoral fellowship. I need to learn more entrepreneurial skills to be able to see potential of what I'm going to invent, of my new ideas. So I need to, because I didn't have, for example, any business related training, so I want to undertake some so that I am able to see opportunities and possibilities and potential of my research, which is actually also the reason why I have all these books here, and they are just a tiny bit of what I'm working with. I want to focus a bit more as well on creative thinking and how to be more creative in our research environment, because this is something we need to train to see opportunities and to be able to follow them and to get some kind of interesting results from unexpected resources, like probably many of us during our life career will have. So thank you very much for today, for your attention. I'm now going to record a video on demand. So it is going to be about how to orient myself in a call for proposal, what kind of information I need to look for. And the next video is going to be about how to understand the weird words. That's my favorite topic. And I already promised that one. I didn't do it because, like I said, there was a lot of things going on. And sometimes you just can't plan that much. Just like, projects. That's actually the greatest challenge of any project, because we think that we can plan everything and then everything can go entirely in a different direction than we expect. But we need to train ourselves to be ready for any kind of challenge we are going to get during our lifetime, to get strong and resilient as researchers. So have a great time and thank you very much for your attention, and see you in the next video. Bye.